Today we are going to discuss about the LH deficit in other hormones of female. From the time to time, an oocyte is lost into the pelvic cavity, where it later disintegrates. The small amount of blood that sometimes leaks into the pelvic cavity from the gastric follicle can cause pain, known as the little shivers pain in the middle at the time of ovulation. This happens rarely in few females. An over-the-counter home test that detects a rise level of luteinizing hormone can be used to predict ovulation a day in advance. Post-ovulatory phase. The post-ovulatory phase of the female reproductive cycle is the time between the ovulation and onset of the next menses. In duration, it is the most constant part of the female reproductive cycle. It lasts for 14 days in a 28-day cycle from the day 15 to day 28. Even in one ovary, after ovulation, the mature follicles collapses and the basement membrane between the granulosa cells and theca interna break down. Once the blood clot formed from the minor bleeding of the ruptured follicle, the follicle becomes the corpus hemorrhagicum, bursting forth. Theca interna cell mix with the granulosa cells as they all become transformed into corpus luteum cells under the influence of luteinizing hormone. Stimulated by luteinizing hormone, the corpus luteum secretes progesterone, estrogen, relaxin, and inhibin. Four hormones is released from the corpus luteum. The lutein cells also absorb the lutein cells also absorb the blood clot with reference to the ovarian cycle. This phase is also called the luteal phase. Lateral events in an ovary that has evaluated an oocyte depend on whether the oocyte is fertilized. If the oocyte is not fertilized, the corpus luteum has a lifespan of only 2 weeks. Then its secretory activity declines and it degenerates into corpus albicans. As the level of progesterone, estrogen, and inhibin decreases, release of the gonadotropin-releasing hormone, FSH and LH rises due to the loss of negative feedback suppression by the ovarian hormone. Follicular growth resumes and a new ovarian cycle begins. If the secondary oocyte is fertilized and begins to divide, the corpus luteum persists past its normal 2-week lifespan. It is rescued from the degeneration by human chorionic gonadotropin. This hormone is produced by the chorion of the embryo beginning about 8 days after fertilization. Like LH and human chorionic gonadotropin hormone, which is known as HCG, stimulates the secretory activity of the corpus luteum. The presence of HCG in maternal blood or urine is an indicator of pregnancy and is the hormone detected by home pregnancy test. So human chorionic gonadotrophic hormone, if it is present in urine, it is an indicator of the pregnancy which can be tested at home. These kits are available in the market. Even in the uterus. Because of the secretory activities of the endometrium glands which begin to secrete glycogen, this period is called the secretory phase of the uterine cycle. These respiratory changes peak about 1 week after ovulation. At the time of fertilization, ovum might arrive in the uterus. If fertilization does not occur, the level of the progesterone and estrogen decline due to degeneration of the corpus luteum. Without withdrawal of the progesterone and estrogen causes menstruation, method of preventing pregnancy that is 100% reliable is complete abstinence, the avoidance of sexual intercourse. Several other methods are available, each has its advantage and disadvantage. These include surgical sterilization, hormonal method, intrauterine devices, spermicides, barrier methods, and periodic abstinence. The future rate for various methods of birth control, although it is not a form of birth control. In this section, we will also discuss abortion and premature expulsion of the product of conception from the uterus. Surgical sterilization. Sterilization is a procedure that rendered an individual incapable of further reproduction. The principal method for sterilization of the male is a vasectomy. Sterilization in female most often is achieved by performing the tubal ligation, in which both uterine tubes are tied, closed, and then cut. So this is all about the reproductive system of the female. Now we discuss about the digestion and absorption of food. Digestive system and homeostasis with balance. The digestive system contributes to hormones by breaking down food into forms that can be absorbed and used by body cells. It also absorbs water, vitamin, mineral, and eliminates waste from the body. The food we eat contains a variety of nutrients which are used for building new body tissues and repairing damaged tissues. Food is also vital for life because it is our only source of chemical energy. However, most of the foods we eat consist of molecules that are too large to be used by body cells. Therefore, food must be broken down into molecules that are small enough to enter body cells, a process known as digestion. The organs involved in the breakdown of the food collectively called the digestive system. Likewise, Respiratory system, the digestive system is a tubular system. It extends from the mouth to the anus, form an extensive surface area in contact with the external environment and is closely associated with the cardiovascular system. The combination of extensive environment exposure and close association with blood vessels is essential for process the food that we eat. The process, two groups of organs compose the digestive system, the gastrointestinal tract and the accessory digestive organs. The gastrointestinal tract or alimentary canal, alimentary nourishment is a continuous tube that extends from the mouth to the anus through the thoracic abdominopelvic cavities. Organs of the gastrointestinal tract include the mouth, most of the pharynx, esophagus, and small intestine and large intestine and stomach. The length of the GI tract is about 5 to 7 meters, that is 16.5 to 23 feet in a living person. It is longer in cadaver, about 7 to 9 meters or 23 to 29 feet, because the muscles along the wall of the GI tract organs are in a state of tonus, sustained contraction. The accessory digestive organs include the teeth, tongue, salivary glands, liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. Teeth aid in the physical breakdown of food, and the tongue assists in chewing and swallowing. The other accessory digestive organs, however, never comes into direct contact with food. They produce or store secretion that flow into the GI tract through the ducts. The secretion aid in the chemical breakdown of the food, which is necessary for the absorption. The GI tract contains food from the time it is eaten until it is digested and absorbed and eliminated. Muscular contraction in the wall of the GI tract physically break down the food by churning it and propel the food along the tract from the esophagus to the anus. The contraction also helps to dissolve food by mixing them with fluid secreted into tract. Enzymes secreted by accessory digestive organs and cells that line the tract break down the food chemically. Means from the mouth up till stomach, the food should be chewed properly, cut down in a small pieces, then swallowed. Then it has to be mixed with certain secretion from the stem like HCl, amylase, lipase, and in intestine bile. This all mix with the food and chemically they make more fine particle which will be able to be absorbed into the blood circulation from the ileum, last part of the small intestine. Overall, the digestive system performs six basic processes. Number one is ingestion. The process involves taking food and liquid into the mouth. Eating is known as ingestion. The second step is secretion. Each day, cells within the wall of the GI tract and accessory digestive organs secretes a total of about 7 liters of water, acids, buffers, and enzymes into the lumen in interior space of the tract. The third stage is known as mixing and propulsion. Al- altern- Alternating contraction and relaxation of the smooth muscles in the wall of the GI tract mix food and secretion and propel them towards the anus. This capability of the GI tract to mix and move material along its length is called the motility. Then the fourth process stage is digestion. Mechanical and chemical process breaking down ingested food into small molecules. In mechanical digestion, the teeth cuts and grind food before it is swallowed, and then smooth muscles of the stomach and small intestine churn the food. As a result, food molecules become dissolved and thoroughly mixed with the digestive enzyme. In chemical digestion, the large carbohydrate, lipid, and protein and nucleic acid molecules in food are split into smaller molecules by hydrolysis. Digestive enzymes produced by the salivary glands, tongue, stomach, pancreas, and small intestine catalyze these catabolic reactions. A few substances in the food can be absorbed without chemical digestion. These include vitamins, ions, cholesterol, and water. So we have seen in the digestive enzymes are playing a very vital role in our digestion. For example, we are talking about the salivary glands. Saliva is secreted from three types of glands: sublingual gland, parotid gland, and, and one another gland, which they mix and from the salivary. Third is salivary gland. These three glands they mix, they secrete their, they release the secretion. It will mix and it will help in breaking down of the food in your mouth, making the food soft and easy to cut down by the your teeth. A few substances in food can be absorbed without chemical digestion, but some are not absorbed by the chemical digestion. These include vitamins, ions, cholesterol, and water. Then the fifth stage is absorption. The entrance of ingested and secreted fluids, ions, and the product of digestion into the epithelial cells lining the lumen of the GI tract is called the absorption. The absorption substance pass into the blood, lymph, and circulation to cell throughout the body. So when this ingested food enter into the intestine, it will go from the duodenum to the duodenum and duodenum to the ileum. And at the site of the ileum, there are epithelial cells lining the lumen of the GI called the absorption. This absorption substance passes into the bloodstream or a lymph and circulate through cells throughout the body. Defecation, this is the last stage. Waste ingestible substances, bacteria, cells, slog from the lining of the GI tract, means slog means removing epithelial cells from the wall of the intestine or GI tract, and digestive material that were not absorbed in their journey throughout the digestive tract leaves the body through the anus in a process called the defecation. We call it feces. The eliminated material is termed feces, right? So the last stage of defecation means the waste product which is left behind after the absorption of those material which is usable by our body, is absorbed through the ileum and entered into the blood circulation and distributed all over the body for the purpose of as a nutrition, and the waste which is moved from ileum to cecum, which is a large intestine, and it has got different portion: ascending colon, transfer colon, descending colon, and sigmoid colon, then rectum and anus. And it will come out from the anus, and we call it feces. So this is the some of the important aspect of the digestive system which we have seen now, and which we have observed that this is most important part of our digestive system. It is started from the mouth, and mouth has got certain glands which helps out in the digestion. For example, we go through once again about the re-ovulation phase. The pre-ovulatory phase is the time between the end of the maturation and ovulation. The pre-ovulatory phases of the cycle is more variable in the length than other phases and account for most of the difference in length of the cycle. It lasts from 6 to 13 days in the 28 days. Even in the ovaries, some of the secondary follicles in the ovary begin to secrete estrogen and inhibin. By about day 6, a single secretory follicle in one of the two ovaries has outer outgrow all the other to become the dominant follicle. Estrogen and lineamine secreted by the dominant follicle decreases the secretion of FSH, which causes of others less well-developed follicle to stop growing and undergo atresia. Fraternal non-identical twins or triple results in when two or three secondary follicles become co- codominant and later are ovulated and fertilized at the time of same at about the same time. Post-ovulatory phase. The post-ovulatory phase of the female reproductive system is the time between the ovulation and onset of the next menses. In duration, it is the most constant part of the female reproductive cycle. It lasts for 14 days in 28-day cycle from the day 15 to 28. Even in one ovary, after ovulation, the mature follicles collapse and the base membrane becomes the granulosa cells and theca interna break down. Once a blood clot forms from the minor bleeding of the ruptured follicle, the follicle becomes the corpus hemorrhagicum bursting forth. Theca interna cells mix with the granulosa cells as they all becomes transformed into the corpus luteum cells under the influence of LH. Stimulated by the LH, the corpus luteum secretes progesterone, estrogen, relaxin, and inhibin. Four hormones are secreted by the corpus luteum. The luteal cells also absorb the blood clots. With reference to the ovarian cycle, the phase is also called the luteal phase. Lateral events in an ovary that has ovulated in the oocyte depend on whether the oocyte is fertilized. If the oocyte is not fertilized, the corpus luteum has a lifespan of 2 weeks. Then it secretes activity decline and it degenerated into a corpus albicans. As the level of the progesterone, estrogen, and inhibin decreases, release of the gonadotropin releasing hormones FSH and LH rises due to the loss of the negative feedback suppression by the ovarian hormone. Follicle growth resumes and a new ovarian cells begin. If the secondary oocytes fertilize and begin to divide, the corpus luteum persists past its normal 2 weeks lifespan. It is rescued from the degeneration by human gonadotropin HCH. This hormone is a product by chorion of the embryo beginning about 8 days after fertilization. The LHCG stimulate the secretory activities of the corpus luteum. The presence of the HCG in maternal blood or urine is an indicator of pregnancy and is the hormone detected by human pregnancy test. Even in the uterus, the progesterone and estrogen, the progesterone and estrogen produced by the corpus luteum promote growth and coiling of the endometrial glands, vascularization of the superficial endometrium, and hiking of the endometrium to 12 to 18 mm, 0.4 to 0.7 inches, because of the secretory activity of the endometrial glands, which begins to secrete glycogen. This period is called the secretory phase of the uterine cycle. These preparatory changes peak about 1 week after ovulation. At the time of fertilization, ovum might arrive in the uterus. If fertilization does not occur, the level of the progesterone and estrogen decline due to the degeneration of corpus luteum. Withdrawal of the progesterone and estrogen causes menstruation. Method of the preventing pregnancy that is 100% reliable is completely abstinence and avoidance of sexual intercourse. Several other methods are available. Each has its advantage and disadvantage. These include surgical sterilization, hormonal methods, intrauterine devices, spermicides are available in the market, barrier method, and periodic abstinence. The failure rate for various methods of birth control. Although it is not a form of the birth control, in this section we will also discuss abortion and premature expulsion of the product of conception from the uterus. Surgical sterilization is another method. Sterilization is a process that renders an individual incapable of further reproduction. The principal method for sterilization male is vasectomy. Vasectomy means you have to cut down the tubes which carry the sperms, or ligated means tied, tied down. Sterilization in female. Sterilization in female most often is achieved by ligation, in which both uterus tubes are tied closed and then cut down. Now we have another topic, that is the digestion and absorption of the food, digestive systems and hemostasis. The balance. The digestive system contributes to hemostasis by breakdowning food into forms that can be absorbed and used by the body cells. It also absorbs water, vitamin, and minerals and eliminates waste from the body. The food we eat contains a variety of nutrients which are used for building new body tissues and repairing damaged tissues. Food is also vital to life because it is our body's source of chemicals energy. However, most of the food we eat consists of molecules that are too large to be used by cells. Therefore, food must be broken down in molecules that are small enough to enter the body cells, a process known as digestion. The organs involved in the breakdown of food collectively called the digestive system. This is all about today, and next class we will start the same topic will continue. Thank you very much.